Call the meeting to order, and if, Sarah, could please read the, intro. I appreciate it.
All right, this is to formally advise that as required by Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Sections 18 to 25, and pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency signed into law on June 15, 2021, as extended by Chapter 2 of the Act of 2023, the Yarmouth Commission on Disability will hold a public meeting on Thursday, August 29th, 2024 at 3 p.m. at Yarmouth Town Hall, 1146 Route 28, South Yarmouth. The public is welcome to attend either in person or via the alternative public access provided on the agenda. We're now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. The chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. If you are participating remotely, please remember to unmute your microphone and face the microphone on your computer when you're recognized to speak so you can be heard clearly. Please remember to mute the mic on the Zoom app or mobile phone when you are not speaking. When a participant wishes to interject a question or comment, please wave your hand either physically or remotely and ask to be recognized. We will now proceed with the meeting.
As a preliminary matter, I will confirm for the record the members and staff present and they can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Jean Boyle, Vice Chair.
Here.
Mary Vilbourn, August Clerk.
Here.
Drew Kraus.
Here.
John Mitchell.
Affirmative.
Jessica Simmons, she's on Zoom.
Here.
Can you hear? Thank you, Jessica. Dale Charette, Chair, and staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Sarah O'Reilly, Director of Human Resources. Board. Here, thank you. As I mentioned, we have Jessica on Zoom. So Jessica, if you want, you don't have, if you're in your office, you don't have to mute. And, if you have any, just raise your hand after we have like the topic, so you can interject whatever you want, all right? And
Okay. I
don't
will
just,
put on mute because my phone never stops ringing.
okay, then we'll, whatever is best. So, okay, so if we could just like watch the screen too, I'd appreciate it. Does anyone wish to make any changes to the agenda? No. Okay.
I do have one addition to the agenda, if I may, and that is, I just want to, I think it might be on there, the membership program. I just have something to contribute when we get to that.
Okay, thank you. Like I said, good afternoon, but before we begin our meeting today, as many of you know, Select Board Chair Michael Stone passed on August 13th. Let's take a moment to honor and remember Michael for his compassion, service, and dedication to the town he loved and the many lives he touched. He will be sorely missed. Thank you. As we proceed, the next on the agenda is Quest. I'm going to defer this to Jean Boyle. Thank you, Jean.
Yes, I drove by there yesterday. It is not completed. I did call Jim Basil, who is the owner of the complex where Quest is located on 6A in Yarmouthport. He said that he has had approval from the Historical Commission to make changes. He's currently waiting for delivery of the automatic door opener from Shipley Products in Hyannis that will be installed. And his plan is to reverse the door inward so that it doesn't have to open out. And in the meantime, he will also fill in beside the walkway where there is a drop. So,
Platform.
pardon me?
The platform area.
Yes, right in front of the door. So he is on top of it, and he did mention how difficult it is getting help and so on. It's taking time, but
Good. Did he give you any time frame?
no.
No. Okay. All right. So we'll just hang loose,
Yep.
you know. Wonderful. That's wonderful news.
making
And,
progress.
and tell them thank you. The committee really appreciates it.
Thanks,
Very
Jim.
much so. Thank you. Next on the agenda is Sharky's. I'm going to refer you
Well,
to.
that's another place I drove by.
Yeah.
And it looks fine. They have the signs 6 feet above. And they have the handicapped symbol on the blacktop. We don't want to do anything about it now, but the ramp is a little bit steep. And he did have his doors, they're double doors, and they opened out and they were kind of in the way of the platform. So that's something maybe we could mention to him, although he'll be gone shortly, right? Isn't that just summer? Yeah, okay. So
Thank you, Jean.
it all looks good.
Good.
And if we want to contact him, we can wait a year and tell him about the doors.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. Jean. That was good. So I should send him a letter. Follow. That'd be good. Yeah.
Or replacement, because we don't need to send the letter you had drafted.
Right,
Right,
and
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
CVS, I went by there and nothing has changed. So I don't know what our next step is. We sent out the letter, right, from us? I knew that you were looking for something and I believe I gave it to you, so you might want to look
I'll
at your
double
records.
check.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
good. Thank you, sir. Okay. Dollar Tree, I have no clue.
Yeah, so this came to me actually. This week. And she's actually someone that I might, follow up with and see if she would join this committee. She's actually someone I worked with like 20 years ago,
Oh, wow.
at the hospital, and she's
She lives in Yarmouth
retired.
and
She
she
lives
re-
in Yarmouth.
Oh, wonderful.
And she stopped by because and I didn't get to go over there, but the Dollar Tree on 28. She
Parking.
said the way that the parking is situated, it's
Correct.
like a corner. And they have the parking like spot, like in such a way that you can't really park there. Is that
Correct.
making
Mm.
sense? Yeah.
Yep.
So, before I did anything, I wanted to kind of go and you guys sound like you know exactly, you can
Mhm.
picture exactly what it is, but
Mhm.
that's probably another place that we should write a letter, but we gotta figure, so I can figure out with assessors who own, who the
Okay, and I
property
could take a
owner is.
picture of it and then we'll draft a letter. I'll send it over to you. And then we can send it out.
And we can probably use the.
Exactly.
Right.
We just right.
I actually think it's in compliance. It's just a very odd setup, the way it is.
Yeah, if one
And
car
is that the
parks there.
handicap section?
Yeah.
So that's very hard for somebody that's handicapped to try to negotiate back and forth, really.
It's just backing out.
Yeah,
But it would be inconvenient for anyone. To me, I always
not
think it's
accessible. Yeah.
unsafe, but it looks like it's up to code. Michelle, the owner, is very eager to always keep his properties up to date,
Good.
so.
I'll probably just
Okay.
change for another space. That would be something we can do. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's another letter. Okay. All right. So as we proceed on the agenda, the CAM report. Jean had, was really like wanted to know the time frame of when things were going to be done. And so I created a letter and I sent it off to Sarah. And Sarah made some tweaks. And we'd like to present this letter as a follow-up. So that everybody's on kind of like the same page.
So you can, it's in your packet, but the
Right.
first thing is, it was originally gonna be to Sharky's, but this is going out by the wayside because Sharky's, it sounds, has made some work. So in
Yeah.
your packet, you'll see the Sharky's. And then the backup to the Sharky's stuff, the law, with CMR and the handicapped accessible parking regulations. But beyond that, there's a letter that says, "Dear Mr. Robert Nelson, facility supervisor," that's what Gail's referencing.
Yeah.
It's maybe like
So, do you want to read that, Sarah?
Sure.
Please, thank you.
YCOD appreciates your attentiveness in making the Yarmouth more accessible to the public. To help with this endeavor, community access monitors Jean Boyle and Drew Kraus had written survey reports marking in red and blue ink, denoting what areas could be more accessible. Ultimately, YCOD will rely on your expertise for what is feasible and safe. Attached is a copy of the CAM survey worksheet list. This list is in Excel format, and we would appreciate your feedback and updates. If you would please fill in the information and email it to Jean Boyle, we would appreciate it. Her email is. You are always welcome to attend one of our monthly meetings. We generally meet the second Thursday of the month at 3 p.m. at Town Hall. Please let Jean know if you would like to be placed on the agenda. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. I look forward to hearing from you. As I'm reading it out loud, I'm feeling like it needs a little more tweaking.
What do you
Funny,
think?
when you read
happens,
something out
exactly.
loud, it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that doesn't
You
really
know
make
what,
a lot of
Sarah?
sense. Yeah.
What came to you as you were reading it out loud?
Well, first of all, I would not start with YCOD. I like spelling things out, at least the first time you
Okay,
say something. I think the first sentence is fine. I don't know, it just seemed like run. To help with this endeavor, community access management had written survey. Had
it
written-
could be simpler.
Well, I think
What
that,
exactly are you asking?
so, yeah, so I think that's exactly the
Yeah.
issue. So I would say something like attached are the written survey reports
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
community access monitoring that, conducted by members Jean Boyle and Drew Kraus.
Clarify the red
And
and blue also. They're
they
both-
know, there are notations in red and blue ink denoting what areas could be more accessible. We would appreciate, we've attached a worksheet and we would appreciate your feedback as to progress in these areas or something like
Writing that
that.
down, right?
No,
I'm not ready.
no, you don't need to write. We. can
You-
take this
yeah,
further.
Okay, we'll read
That's
it.
great. The
Okay.
point is, yeah,
It's
Uh,
funny how you read something out loud and like,
it seems to,
So my, if I can,
yeah, please.
so I don't know how to word it differently, but to say we're touching an Excel format, we would appreciate. It's almost like we're being a supervisor. Somehow we gotta soften it.
Yeah.
It's your participation, our teamwork together would be helpful if you
That's
could
right.
give us some updates.
I agree.
yeah,
Because if I got that, I might say, no work for you, so I'll talk to my supervisor.
yeah,
And not to be, but just,
Are we
That's
annoyed?
fine, because we all wear different hats. I was a boss. I owned a
Right.
company. So my perspective is that's the way I come from things, like, this is what we need done, but I am open to anything. I get it.
yeah.
What do you want from him?
Well, it looks.
Are you asking him for something?
Yeah,
What?
updates.
We want to know what is going on. Just feed us, give us the information.
What information?
what exactly, they outlined it here in this, that there's an.
Just
Excel
say it in
sheet.
a very simple way.
Right.
What do you want him to tell you? You want him to tell you what? What do you want to know? I can't tell.
No, it says right here that they would appreciate your feedback and updates.
Updates about what?
When they do a building, when they're conducting and they're finishing up a building, we want to get the response.
Finishing up a building.
Okay, you made some comments about the building, needing to, like the doors. They needed to be tweaked from 15 pounds to 5 pounds. It'd be easier for people. These are the kind of things. Like, I haven't heard anything about what buildings they've taken care of yet. Have you?
Well, no, and the one building I see all the time is the senior center. And they had temporary signs at the handicap spots for a while in buckets, and then they removed them. And I think we did that in February or the end of January. And nothing's been done there. And the senior center needs a little bit of work. recall all those doorways that needed grading.
So
So we just want to get
Couple
the
of
feedback.
them.
We want to know what's going on. I think that's.
couldn't we
appropriate.
just say that in a much simpler way, like?
Well,
That's what we're trying to do,
Yeah.
Drew. We're trying to get this letter squared away. So if you have something specific that you want,
Right.
do you have a suggestion?
What do you think? You,
What?
are we annoyed with him at all? Yeah.
No, we're not.
No.
Okay,
No, not at all.
No, this is intended to be very positive.
okay.
This isn't like, no one's mad or upset or
Yeah, that's.
anything. It's actually, the
It's
intent
a
is.
follow-up, that's all.
Is a
on what-
follow-up
yeah, on
and,
the
you know,
work that-
so that we have an understanding of, because there's certain things, Drew, like I can give you an example. One of the things that, you know this, one of the things that came out of the survey was that the plate for the elevator is really close to the stairs at Town Hall.
Mhm.
Well, I can tell you right now, that plate for the elevator is not gonna be relocated. There's nowhere to relocate it that would not be,
Right,
you know, it's just not realistic that that's gonna change, you know what I mean? But then there's other things that clearly can be changed. So I think when we say feedback and updates, we're trying to have him help vet out some of the things that are going to be able to be changed and are not gonna be able to be changed,
Mhm.
right?
Right,
And,
yeah.
and then updates on those things that are.
now we've
Right.
done something at your place, right?
As much as they can.
As much as they can. And is it going to work?
No. But,
Okay, so-
but like to his point, he has so much in a budget, he has so much staff. And he has so much control over what he can do. So what he's done, at least in my eyes, he's prioritized what he has the ability to do within his means.
So what did he do in your case?
They came over and they adjusted the door, they adjusted the hinge, they ordered a new handle and installed that. That the weight of that door, they can't change. I mean, they would have to change the entire door. It's a custom sized door, so there'd be a huge expense to it. So
get it,
he did
yeah.
what he could do. He adjusted the hinge and he put the new door handle.
And did
on.
like,
And part of it is that it was sticking, right? To
But that's
the,
just the humidity.
humidity,
And there's
right.
literally an air conditioner right there. There's nothing more we can do. So
Other
I
than-
think, like he said, this is what I can do within
Right.
my means.
right.
so he
and there
discussed,
are-
he talked about that with you.
Yeah, I stood there with them, him and his staff.
Mary, did they switch the restrooms at all? No. Is there resistance to that? Because one I was suggesting for the public is bigger and nicer, lots
Yeah,
of
he
room.
didn't even come up with discussion with me because it's not up to us, it's up to the town.
Really?
Yeah, I just rent the space.
Oh,
Okay.
Would this be something that a grant could assist in modifying things?
Like replacement of the door, yeah,
Yeah.
but I think what would be helpful is to like. This is where you become a partner with the town, right?
Right.
And you say, you know, to Robert, you know, if you've prioritized the list, if a grant funding comes available, can we work with you?
yeah,
To apply for the funding, then you're becoming his partner and you're saying, okay, we
Outstanding.
know you have a challenge, so now we're found a funding mechanism that maybe we can assist you with.
With a tax
That's why
credit
we
too.
want, that's why we want the follow-up. We want to know what the,
Right.
what can be done and what's not done, and then we know what can't be done, and then we can work on
Right, like-
those.
So
We
maybe,
can assist.
so
Yeah.
maybe you even put that in the letter, you know, our committee
goal
is
is to-
look,
right.
no, or looking
Right.
for resources that may assist you and
yeah, that's a really good
your
idea.
team.
Excellent.
So
Right.
your communication back to us would be
Right.
very helpful.
Yeah,
You know, so he knows that, hey, we're here to help.
We're
him
on the
just
same
as much.
team.
exactly.
That's great.
That's what, yeah, it seemed,
Okay, good. That's the way,
um,
well, that's why we brought it to the group
Right.
here. This is not
and,
just one
the reason
person.
I was asking what, it seemed like, not clear enough, you know,
Okay, well, that's all right. You know,
and maybe a little bit, not on purpose, but like, harsh or something like,
Mm,
I don't know if harsh is the right word, but like,
well, that's kind of insulting.
Cold, not
because, you know,
cold,
it's
but-
like, I'm trying very hard. My job
know.
is to create something and bring it here, and then it gets discussed. I am not supposed to be spending hours figuring out how to be tactful and this and that. I can't do that. It'll take me forever.
I know, so,
And-
Doing,
and that-
no, that's.
you're
and
doing
don't-
good.
and
Well,
that's-
here's what I was
That's
thinking.
why I bring it here. Exactly, we're a team and that's, I appreciate that,
I know.
much so than you know, yeah. So,
Well,
yeah.
but I'm saying the thing of it is, like, I read this a couple of hours ago and I thought,
Okay.
I'd
So I
like to
think-
rewrite it in some
So I
way, you
think
know?
what would be helpful just going forward is when you get if there's a
But I
letter
didn't
like
rewrite it,
this,
So
yeah, but please
Bring the information.
do, please.
I wasn't up for rewriting it in the timeframe. I
Yeah,
thought,
but it's okay
I know.
if you have.
I know,
feedback,
I know.
Right? It's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to make it better.
That's
Yeah.
why we give it to you 2 days in advance, so you look it over and then bring your ideas.
Yeah, well, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so,
Not you, but I'm just
um,
saying that's what we do.
but what should we do?
Next step.
But we do want to send him a letter like this for sure.
I think
But, we want
are
to
you-
find out what he's done so far and what he's planning to do in the future, right?
Yep.
On the suggestions
Can
that we
do with the
made.
funds that he has and the people that he has.
Right.
Now that we know see, we didn't even know all that, right? We didn't know anything. We figured, hey, this has to be done, that has been, you assume it's gonna be done. You can't, that doesn't work that way.
No,
Mhm.
So we have to, understand, so
Yeah.
we get it.
You know, what I find is one of the hardest dilemmas here is that we're approaching something where we want to be cooperative, kind,
yes,
inquisitive,
yeah,
but as a person who approaches a door and is in a wheelchair and can't open it, they don't care about that. They want to get in the door. So it's very hard to balance the difference between the two, because you want a person who's handicapped to be available to access something immediately, not care about whether we are being kind, compassionate. These are the codes, please apply by them. If we can assist you, these are the grants that we can offer.
yeah,
Those are the,
this does make you think.
So
yeah.
Gail and I had this conversation previously, and I think I hear what you're saying, John. However, I think it's important to note that the town buildings are not out of compliance.
Mhm.
They're not out of compliance, and you know this,
That's
right?
right, that's-
Because the,
Those
co-
codes are.
they,
Well,
no, they're not out of compliance
Mhm.
because the code, there's not work, there's not like a building permit that's being pulled right now. And when the building was built, they were in compliance.
So they're
The only
grandfathered?
time that the building becomes out of compliance is when a permit is pulled, then it has to get up to today's code. So we have to be really careful
So
when we
it's
say
grandfathered.
something's out of compliance, because a lot of our work in this committee is making something more accessible. Not, we can't, where I think, and to kind of your point, you were saying like, we want a partner, is if we start trying to tell people that are experts in this,
Mhm.
that their buildings are out of compliance, that's not gonna be well received, because they're not out of compliance.
Yeah, all right.
They're not as accessible as
Okay.
we would like
Alright,
them to
well,
be. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but however, I do want to say for someone who's been in a wheelchair and who has sat there and cried when I can't get into a bathroom,
Right,
that frustration, I don't worry about if the guy taking care of the building is in compliance or not. I just want the door to open.
No, I get it.
right, right.
I get
That's
it, but
fine.
but I think it's just like to accuse
we're-
someone of
We're not accusing.
Something.
I don't think anyone
I
is
have a
saying that.
solution.
I think you're.
Correct.
The solution is, let's put a button there and it opens the door.
But that costs thousands of dollars.
Right.
Costs that much money?
Oh, God, yes.
Drew and I surveyed 13 buildings. 3 of them were the firehouses. One building needed nothing, the West Yarmouth Library. The others needed repairs and improvements, but for the most part, they were accessible. You could gain entrance, the bathrooms were accessible, but there were some issues with every other building. And with that, I say that the town is pretty much in compliance, as
yeah.
you
Sure.
said.
Yeah.
So The thing is repairs and improvements.
It's just
So
like
I
half the
think-
buildings in town that are not ADA compliant because they're grandfathered because of the age of their buildings.
Right,
Yeah.
so I think,
Also,
But
it
it's-
depends on the amount of work that's been done within the town. That's going to determine whether they're in compliance or not. So if you have $1 million building and you do $500,000 worth of renovations, you have to come up to compliance.
But I don't think any of these buildings have.
But I'm just,
Yeah.
just a.
but with
in
that
the
said,
survey.
Yeah.
I will say, because I know you said I'm sounding defensive, I'm not trying to be defensive. There is an interest in making them as accessible as possible.
Sure.
But it's, I think the goal in writing this letter, just getting back to the letter, was to, and Jean brought this up at the last meeting, was to say, okay, here is the full report. And, you know, and I know Robert's already like looked at this, you know, because
Right.
he's gotten them all individually. Here's the full report for the purposes of planning, right? Because we don't always have the funding right now for everything, but we can begin to plan ahead for that now. So it's really helpful because now he can budget for it in the future.
Right.
And now we're saying, okay, what's the game plan, you
Right.
know, and he can come back to us and say, these 5 things are done. Because they were easy fixes and they were within our ability and means to do them. And these next 5 things, you know, require some funding, and this is what we're, you know, what our plan is going forward. I think that's what we're looking to gain from the letter, is to say,
Right.
okay, what's been
Right.
accomplished and what is the game plan for accomplishing other things?
Sure.
And what things, because there are some, like I mentioned with the elevator buttons, that are probably not gonna be
Mhm.
realistically changed, because we're not going to be able to
On that.
completely change around the whole way the stairs are and
Mhm.
everything. Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like fitting it into like those.
And we had to
couple
report that
categories.
because it was observed, but it
Exactly.
doesn't mean that you have to do it. It's just that
Right,
that's why we put it in red so they can it pinpoint, you know, all the
Yeah.
different things and let
Right.
them decide.
Well, where the counters were too high, such as in this building,
They
we pointed
accommodated
out
it.
that there is a table that
right,
is wheelchair height. So they
They
don't have to replace the counter.
Right, so
Right.
accommodates that.
That's great.
Yeah. But I like the idea about getting a heads up and finding out, because then we can come back and say, we're interested, if you don't mind, on doing this building and this building first. You know, like if the public is going to be going into the Yarmouth Chamber of Commerce, that is important, right? Also, the senior center is important. You know, I mean, they're all important, but then we can probably, I'm not sure if we have the right to do that, or if
No.
they do that, they do that.
No,
Okay.
I would think that's his, I mean, that's why
Okay.
he's the expert at what he does.
Okay.
He's gonna know more than anyone
Yeah.
what
Okay.
needs to be the priority.
Okay.
I would
and
think.
I can just like, probably if this is the appropriate time to talk a little bit about the senior center, because after the last meeting. Myself, the assistant DPW director, the senior center director, the town engineer. And someone from the highway department all met out at the senior center. To take a look at the accessible parking there and come up, that too is going to require some funding, and they are looking at that to deal with how that accessible parking is. And this is what I believe happened related to the accessible parking. So toward the back of the building, there are 3 or 4 parking spots,
Yeah.
which have the appropriate signage, markings,
Yeah.
and curb cuts.
Sure.
It seems like at some point in time when they had, yeah, exactly, near the shuffleboard.
Yep, that's right.
It seems that at some point in time, probably when the, parking lot was being relined, that someone, when the company was relining it, I don't know if that's the right word, but anyway, you know what I mean. The
Painting lines.
Paint it, yeah, the lines were being
Yeah.
repainted.
Okay,
it seems that when the person was hired to do the repainting of the lines, someone just said, oh, why don't you make all these handicapped accessible parking? And so, and you can go out there and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
I have it.
So every couple spots, they just didn't make it a spot anymore and they put the lines like this on those spots. And they didn't put signs up and they didn't put curb cuts. So it's not,
They're not.
yeah, they're
handicap
not
parking?
really actually accessible parking spots because the only curb cut is way down at toward the back of the building, when in actuality, there's, I don't know, probably 10 parking spots. That whole first row is painted as such, but it doesn't have the appropriate spots.
All it has is the.
So-
paint to-
Exactly,
indication.
markings, yeah. So, the town engineer was gonna have her staff go back out there the next day and kind of take some measurements and figure out how to put in a capital improvement request to, get that, up
That
to
seems
date.
Good, yeah.
Because we can put signage in, the other thing that's interesting is we can put signage in front of all those spots, cause they have to be within 10 feet. But the 10 feet, because it's obviously paved, would be across the sidewalk in the gardens. And the concern is that a lot of people will tend to gauge where they can park up to based on where the sign is. And there's
Right.
concern that if they're back here and there's a sidewalk in between, that people are gonna, be going up on the sidewalk, and that's a safety issue. So that is all, it's just, it seems like a really simple fix, but then you get out there and you actually like dig in a little bit. And it's not as straightforward as any of us would like it to be. But the good news is that we all, there was like a whole team of us that saw it with our own eyes, and we were able to really understand what the concern is. And, they are in the process of planning for a capital improvement request to be able to resolve that. So,
That's good.
That's kind of good.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
And I'm
a,
glad you told us that, because I thought they were kind of ignoring it. My question
We
is,
try not to ignore you.
well, it's been 8-9 months, that's all.
I
You're
didn't say
saying
we were fast, but we do try not to ignore you.
the signs would have to go in to the ground. Is that what you're saying?
There's a special equipment that would need to be rented or what have you to put them into the pavement.
the sidewalk.
I figured that.
Yeah. So, but the other piece to it is you can put the signs up and you're still not gonna be in compliance because they have the lines that go this way that are supposed to be for like van accessibility.
Mm.
There's supposed to be a curb cut in front of each of those. There's not.
All right.
So it's not in a good place, but there's awareness of it now.
The only
And-
actual accessible
That's great.
spaces are in the back of the building.
Correct.
There's as you approach the main entrance from the parking lot,
Right.
the ramp has a small hole closer to the building that would probably need to get patched. Cause that's either someone's gonna trip on that or someone's gonna wind up getting a wheelchair stuck in that little gap. There's a expansion seam and closer towards the building.
On the side or on
Yeah.
the, yeah, I know that where they have it marked in yellow paint, but
That's right. yeah.
it's
That's one of 'em.
really, it's like
That's another thing
probably
that
a
needs
good,
attention, right?
Correct.
it's probably a good couple inches higher than the other
I mean,
square.
Great to
probably,
throw
maybe
in.
what we should do is put it in the tracker, just put that down.
Yeah.
And then take a picture and then bring it in, and now we can track it and just keep it
Terrific.
on, not that we're gonna, but keep it on the front burner, because that could be a nuisance. I'm just saying, if that seems to be a nuisance, that could be, maybe need more attention.
Well, it's definitely a liability.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For the town.
But it's not broken. It's weird. It's like, you
Okay.
know how the concrete is poured like in squares?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like one square is like,
Higher?
inch or two higher than the rest. It's bizarre.
Water seeps underneath, freezes and
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
so maybe it
bizarre,
was
it's a
done
thing
at that,
happens.
yeah.
But the ground changes.
And if somebody's
yeah.
not paying, and if there's somebody has bad eyes. And you're
It
not
is
paying
marked,
attention.
it is marked at this point with yellow paint.
I'll tell you, I have bad eyes some days because I have cornea problems in both eyes, Duke dystrophy, right? If the humidity or the rain, my vision is totally different from normal days. I mean, I can actually, the edema it swells up, so,
interesting.
yeah.
So are we comfortable? I think the question would be, are you comfortable if Gail and I
Modify.
can think of that?
Yeah, I think we want to work with the town through Robert Nelson to keep
Yeah.
seeing that this happens, but like somehow make it simplify it or be more direct and yet
It's,
Like
it's
that.
like you're all
Positive.
saying positive. like,
Yeah.
We're working together on this.
Yeah.
Motion on that?
And it's not,
I don't think you need a motion.
You don't need it.
that's sort of the consensus
Right.
idea of it?
emotions, because then it shows that it's.
Documented.
Yeah.
Because he knows what. Yeah, that's what it boils down to. Does that make sense to you, Jessica, over there in Hyannis?
Out there in the world.
I felt the urge to include you.
I know, I feel like I'm watching TV and not actually part of
Yeah.
It is
Sorry,
a
I
good
don't
show.
like it. I don't like
Drew
TV.
asks, is it a good show?
It is, you guys are always very entertaining. Absolutely.
Okay.
Well,
But
at
I
least
think-
we're not on the
Do you
table
want me to read what I
dancing.
have in the minutes? Because it's
Sure.
very short and brief. I put Jean drafted, sorry,
Gail.
Gail, right?
Yeah.
Gail drafted a letter to the town facility supervisor. Some suggestions were made to the letter. The purpose of the letter is to determine what has been accomplished with the resources available and what are any future plans. Gail and Sarah will reword the letter. Sarah provided an update from the working with the.
That's the exact right spirit that minutes would be.
Should I reword them?
We should move
You can
on.
always reword things. I'm sorry to hold you up, but I just wanted to share what a couple of my thoughts. Because when I do remember doing those surveys, and I remember doors. And I remember the doors specifically at the Chamber of Commerce building being very hard to open. And you're telling me it's a very, very heavy door and they can't see their way clear to take that door off and put in a whole new door.
It's a custom doorway.
And it's a
It's
big,
not just go to Home Depot
Okay.
and get another door. It's just
Right.
not that easy.
but the good thing about that is they explained it to you. Here's why.
And they put a new handle on it and they did what they could.
And a thing that I can't remember, like is what you were talking about, Sarah, is that, well, that's. In other words, the standards that we applied to the door, to the force of opening and closing the door were written quite a long time ago. And you're saying that, I didn't have this clear in my mind. You're saying that even though those standards have been in place for 30 years or so, they're still in compliance because the door's been there maybe even longer.
I mean, I'm not saying
I'm
I
not
know
really
how long the
positive.
door's been
Yeah.
there. That was more of a general,
Yeah,
like a general
I'm
question to
very
say like.
unclear on
I'm
that
just
point.
sensitive to the word compliance, cause it
Right.
just becomes like
I
an
understand, okay,
accusatory thing, you
Right.
know what I mean? To say someone's out of compliance, it's
Well-
different than saying you're, not accessible. They are two
Okay.
different
That's
different
excellent.
things,
It's a very good point.
yeah.
I like that.
well, this
You know,
is a, this is a
Probably
good-
existing
well,
law.
in general, this is a good thing to keep thinking about, are these kind of sensitivities,
Yeah,
like that you're bringing.
I'll
up.
hear that.
Well,
Because
and I
it's
think,
all up
you know,
for-
we don't wanna be like so sensitive that we can't get anything done.
Right.
but it's
And well, and not only that, compliance is
Yeah, right.
actually, once we got into this, in our minds, it became kind of a neutral word. There are very
Okay, so we do
specific
this.
things. And you either follow them, or we weren't thinking of it as a accusatory thing.
Oh, I agree. I know
We
that.
weren't.
Yeah, I know that.
I get
I'm
what
just
you're
saying
saying.
how
It
it
was
can
like
be
a
received.
technical term. It's a technical.
Well,
term.
that's why I
It
have
is,
to be
yeah.
careful with the business community.
Right.
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 Exactly.
Because in our mind, that was just a technical term.
Right.
Whoops, it's out of compliance.
Right.
That's all it was.
Yeah,
But
no,
what
that
you're
was a good
saying is, well,
explanation.
Not
and
excessive.
that's what goes to this letter itself. When you write, where you.
Reword
takes
it.
A lot of work to make it.
It does,
effective.
because to Gail's
what I mean, Gail?
credit, we did a lot of work on the letter
Right.
already. Yeah, believe it or not.
I sent her a
Yeah.
letter and she went, whoa.
This is a
yeah.
hard thing. This is a hard thing to
You
do.
don't understand. I
I
sent
do
her a letter and she goes, whoa, we have to talk. And I said, okay. And she's telling me and telling me, I'm saying, okay, I get the gist of it. And she keeps on hammering it home. And I think I did a pretty good job.
You did, you
So,
did.
you know, and then you just tweaked a few things, but the whole idea was, what was the end result? Just tell us what's going on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
And all we
Just let
want,
us know
yeah.
what you
And all
can
we
do.
want.
and
How
what
can we help
can't
you?
do,
Received in
And
a
when-
way-
how long will it take?
but here's the thing.
But we better move on or we're
Yeah.
gonna be here all night.
All right, come on, let's go.
I-
Okay,
I
the
need to
next-
leave at 4:30.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh, we gotta get moving.
All right.
On the agenda. All right, this here is really, you know me with this brochure. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take care of every single part of what we do on one brochure and make it standard, okay? So what I did, well, anyway, so I tried to do this and I used these highlights. The membership drive, the mission, the vision, and the charge that Yarmouth Mission is become an advocate, use the webpage and report an issue. We want to involve the public, let them know, like that lady that contacted you, right? The dollar store, right? We want to hear from them. This is important. YCOD and YCC Alliance and how we're together and we're trying to educate the public accommodations and the businesses about accessibility and, you know, why it's important and what bottom line can be for everybody. Results from being a self-advocate. That over here, as you can see, it says, thanks to the self-advocate, Yarmouth has 12 Moby floating beach chairs. This wasn't in there before. So this was like, to me, you know, validating that one individual created, you know, a positive. Collaborating with town departments equals results. What we did here, thanks to the Community Development Department, Planning Division, the Sandy Pond Playground, which really, we didn't have too much input, but you know, it was a collaboration and they did consider the disability. In fact, it was a disability park, so they took that in consideration. And also, I should have mentioned that the floating chairs were definitely done by the collaboration. So anyway, so if you read it, the only thing I changed was we didn't like the partnership. This is, so I said, okay, what am I trying to say here? Become a self-advocate, report an issue about a disability concern that can better serve the disability community. Let YCOD do the rest. And we'll handle it. And then you go to the webpage and click here, report an issue or ask a question. All inquiries will be investigated and answered. And then this here is something that Jean and Mary can look at to make sure that this is proper, about why these two joined an alliance and what we're trying to convey to the public. So that was one portion of it. I don't have to read it. You can read it yourself. And then if you look at the back page, I didn't do anything much with because I couldn't. I don't have that, the access to change anything. So I left this the way it was. I could do the top part. But basically, that's it. So,
Say when we.
yeah, it does. It says when we meet on the back here. It says, yeah, meeting monthly, second Thursday. At 3 p.m. Town Hall, public welcome.
Stand-
Meetings are posted 2 days prior on, you know, our webpage.
Standing.
And
Where will these brochures?
okay, that's what right. The brochures will go to, here's my information. So, I figured we could give 50 to the senior center, the town hall, the 3 libraries, the Yarmouth Chamber of Commerce. And we'll keep 50 for ourselves. We'll need a total of 400. And I thought what we can do is, I can talk about that later. That's under initiatives.
I have a question on the meeting date because we don't always meet the second Thursday.
I
So
always say usually, should we put usually?
I was gonna say like typically meets the second Thursday at 3, check website for
Okay.
updates or something like that. Just because at one
Typically.
point I had someone come in and on the second Thursday. looking for the meeting.
Today's a perfect example. Yes.
Continue, right?
Yes.
And we weren't meeting that day.
And we don't, and
Because we
I
had,
was.
right, exactly. So,
Okay,
I think it would be
so
good
instead
to
of putting
like,
meets, I'll put typically
I think
meets.
usually is a better word.
either
Usually?
way,
Usually,
I think it's a better word.
usually,
yeah,
okay,
that's fine.
And
usually.
then you can
And
put
then
check.
just say check, check website to
That's
confirm
okay,
or
yeah.
something like
And
that.
then, oh, I put meetings are posted, but you think I should say check the web? You don't think people understand that? That's not, I mean, I can change it. I don't know what you want me to
That's
change it
fine,
to.
meetings are posted is fine, but if we're gonna say that when we meet, I was just thinking we should add check. I don't know, whatever you guys think.
No,
To
fine,
confirm the date, you know what I mean? Those are two different points in my mind.
Yes.
The meetings are posted 2 days prior on the website, but we are saying we typically meet the second Thursday, check the website to confirm.
okay,
You know what I
Perfect.
mean?
check.
Yep.
I could do that.
Perfect.
And on brochures now, we don't use www anymore. It would just be yarmouth.ma.
Save 3 letters.
Okay. Okay, check the, what now, did you say?
That's awesome.
Check website.
Yep.
Website.
I sort of like a condensed thing, like check website.
Check website.
That appeals to me. I don't know.
Confirm or on website or something. along
So
those-
just put check website?
That appeals to me. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it sounds goofy to you.
No, no, I just want, so let's go over whatever else you think needs to be. I don't know about, your apartment.
I didn't, truthfully, I didn't really go through it.
It says the same thing that we talked about. Get rid of this. And this.
I would hope that the font is the same for the document.
Well, the whole thing is this here, I
Yeah.
can't change. I don't have anything. This was done.
So my new marketing girl starts next Tuesday. So I can see if she can edit some of that if you want.
And if you think it should be fixed up, I don't have a problem with that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to put the same thing usually. We'll have to change
Okay.
this.
The
Maybe I-
town
you wanna-
seal should be,
Yeah, the new one.
updated on the back, this back panel.
Do you have the new one?
The
The
what?
new one's on here,
Town seal.
but
What
it's
is
not over
It's a tree
here.
now. It's not
It's
the
right here, see
Native
here?
American.
Yeah, that's all distorted. We have to do all that.
Yeah, see, I can't get to that. So Mary,
Do you have this in like a PDF or something?
I don't have
It's
it.
just my marketing director. It might have created it, but it's been so distorted after so much movement.
Oh, okay. That's
No,
okay.
it's just pulling it into
Right, I
Word
had
and
to
trying to
put, I
get it
had,
in
right, I had it, I used Word and not using
publisher.
right,
Yeah.
because I don't have that.
I think she actually did it in Canva, so
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
I can find,
yeah, just call me, just call or email.
Well, why don't you text or call me, let me know. I don't want to bug you.
No, call and bug
Oh,
me, because
okay.
otherwise.
Okay, call Mary, okay. Next, within the next couple of weeks.
Together.
Can I speak to the membership, Jane?
Yes,
So we received, so I think I told you that I met with I happened to meet the superintendent one day, and I asked him if he would send something out. We were trying to attract some parents that might participate in these meetings, and recently, they sent something out, and we received 2 responses from parents. One of them lives in Venice, so she doesn't, she wouldn't be able to be on the committee as a voting member, although I did, welcome her to come. She works at Latham Centers too, so she's,
Oh,
you know,
nice.
in that work environment, and she has a child maybe that has a disability. So anyway, she's not gonna be like able to be an actual committee member, but I welcome her to come to meetings if she'd like. The other person, does live in Yarmouth, and he sounded very interested. I got these two talent bank forms today. And so I just talked to him today. I talked to both of them actually today. So I told him about our meeting, but I also told him I didn't expect him to like drop everything and run over here to town hall in the next like 2 hours, because I talked to him like at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So
Should have said we were
But I-
serving dinner.
I imagine that he will try to be here. I gave him our September.
Super.
Yeah,
Is he a parent?
yes.
That's good. That's wonderful. And I was just thinking that, you know, what we can do is, as we're talking to people, we can just ask, you know, just say, hey, by the way, you know.
Right,
couple-
yeah.
Just spread the word. You just have them come to the meetings and they can decide.
Well, he filled out the talent bank form, but what I told him is to come to a couple meetings before he
Absolutely.
goes through the interview process with Phyllis Flynn.
Right.
To make sure it's something he wants to move forward with, you know, that he wants to dedicate time. to
That's
it
that's
and
the
all that
best
good
way to
stuff.
do it.
So,
They come to the-
yeah, so I imagine he'll come.
Okay.
And then the other person that brought forward the Dollar Tree concern, I mentioned it to her as well. I don't know if she'll, you know, if she really was interested, but, she maybe, I'll follow up with her. Give her a little time to absorb it. Cause I said, you know, she has HR experience. So I was like, you know, between the disability commission and the personnel board, I could get you roped into something here.
We should, yeah, if she
Um,
comes to a few meetings, she may find that.
But I think she'd be more suited for this group because she really is very interested in
Oh, that's great.
this. She actually sent me a picture of someone parked, not like on the lines of a accessible parking spot today. She sent me a picture saying, this is what aggravates me. I'm like, okay, she'd be perfect for this group.
Every day.
Well, you know, it's.
Every day it
People
happens to
don't
me.
realize that. If you're not, if you don't have a problem, you know, which is normal not to think about it, right? I mean, you know, I didn't think about it.
I did.
Right. And then all of a sudden, boom, bang, it
So is
happens.
there another thing about the membership drive, like invite Yarmouth registered voters to attend meetings?
Yeah.
That's a request for you all
Yeah,
to, if you know anybody to help recruit.
Right, I see. Now it's sinking in.
just
You gotta
invite
be
them to
a
a meeting, and
Yarmouth
see what they
resident
think,
to be on
That's awesome.
you know.
commission. Right.
You don't
I
even
get
have to
it.
Be a member, but just so that, to know that, hey, you know what, this is what we're doing, and, you know, even if you could spread the word that if you see something that looks out of place or needs any, you know, needs any kind of improvement or accessibility, use the webpage, you know, put your information down.
So Gail, we
Yeah, I know, we're
have
running out.
about 28 minutes.
Okay, so we're gonna go right,
Okay.
Do you want to prioritize the rest of the agenda?
yeah,
or
you know
how
what,
we-
let's wait on the posters, but the whole idea is this, on posters and bookmarks, right? We're still working on this, so you know what, let's just forget about that. So we'll push this off. Number 10,
Push off.
Come back.
Which number did you push off?
number 10,
Okay.
okay. Number 11 is important because I have to get that to Sarah.
Budget reforms.
Yes, please, yes. Where the heck is it? Number 11, I got it right here, thanks. So this is what I wrote up, and please jump in, let me know what we can do, fix it up or whatever, but you need to send something out, so look, read that over and decide what you want to do.
You'd like this to be sent out as soon as possible?
Well, I have to give it to Sarah because then she has to,
This is a budget request to
Right.
have reprints of the coloring
Right.
book.
yeah,
To be able to, a year from now, give them out to elementary school.
it will be
age.
26, 27. Those will be all brand new kids.
here.
Yeah. But we
And
have,
so,
the fiscal year is 2025. I mean, I can, you know, So we have
This
to
is
think way in
educational
advance.
material.
Assume we
Yeah.
need to.
There's gotta be money in the budget for
For
that.
them to be able to take
Grant,
action.
I mean, anything.
So actually, if we're talking 26, 27, we don't need this till another year.
No, no,
No,
no, I want it.
you'll want it as of July first, so that she could go into the school in September. So that's your 2026. Yeah,
The
if you're
fiscal-
in, if you're in the.
Oh, are you talking fiscal year 26? Is that what you're saying?
It'll be,
It just confused me because it says 20.
It confused me too. I had to go back and forth.
yeah, because your school year is 2025, 2026, so it's the town's 2026 year.
But this is saying 26, 27, which would be
That's
the
what I'm-
town
That's what I'm correct.
27.
Well, let me just say this, okay? If we gave, if we did the pre-K to the third grade in 2021, I figured out that it wouldn't be till 2026.
So it's another year,
But the reason why I'm saying that is because,
you want to have it printed.
yeah, and I have to work on the back page. I mean, it took a long time to do, I have to coordinate all the stuff with Mark. So we have to do this. The girls have to, do some little improvements, take out some pages.
$1,100 is enough then, because the prices can change.
Well, it's 1,000 copies and there's 840 students. So that would be $1,100 should be enough.
Did you actually have it quoted?
I did have a quoted,
Okay.
but it was quoted in April. And yes, it was used to be 65 cents a copy.
Paper is crazy.
Right. So I figured if we can get it early, we can sit on it. It's better to have it in our possession.
Have
than wait another year.
1,500 and maybe you could have more done.
Well, I don't know if you think we can have 1,500. I mean, I'll ask for as much.
I
I
was gonna
mean-
say, if you went to like the Rotary Club, you'd probably get 500.
Print as much as you
Print
can
for
and then
that
you'd
amount
have
of
them
money.
for-
So I would request 1,500 from the town. And then I would go to other organizations like the Rotary clubs and other places and that are community organizations, and then you can get
I
double.
don't think
it.
we're supposed to do that.
They're the ones that did it
No.
last time,
No.
weren't they?
I would-
Okay, if you look at the back page right here, this is where. See, this does not say the Disability Commission,
I think, yeah. What about it?
because if you ask for sponsorships, because I try to put together a sponsorship and I was told that I cannot do that.
It's not a
because-
sponsorship.
It's not, we're not talking, she's not talking about a
A
sponsorship.
sponsorship.
She's
would-
talking about a donation.
Well, that is,
No, a
No.
sponsorship is totally different.
oh, so what you're doing is, yeah, but can we solicit donations?
Why can't we?
I was told we couldn't do that.
But you're doing it for a purpose, like. I don't,
When we first
We
started this.
didn't, we were told that.
We weren't told
couldn't.
that?
We were told.
Yes,
You're
we
right.
were.
We were told.
Because we were gonna do donations and it was gonna be donations from the town. People
Mhm.
would give money and then they would just say, okay.
But also you were going to do a whole like sponsorship thing. You were gonna sell sponsorship, right?
yeah,
Isn't that?
Well, don't-
sponsorship is
it was-
totally different.
We couldn't do donations. We
Hmm.
couldn't do donations. That's what we were told.
Well, I think
So I
what
had
you
to
could
create-
do, I think what you could do is, this is how you could do it. Someone could, just like people here actually made a donation, they could make a donation to the Disability Commission earmarked for this purpose, and then the select board has to accept the donation,
Correct.
you know what I mean?
But it can't be saying anything specific.
It doesn't
just-
have to say anything.
It doesn't
Right.
have to say anything specific.
No, I'm
It-
saying on the donation, you can just say we accept donations. That's it, but we don't earmark it to this book. We can't
Well, I
earmark it to
think
the
we,
book.
we gotta, let's
All right, let's-
revisit that. Let's revisit that.
Yeah.
Let's
Do you know
revisit.
where we find that information about what's allowable? And
I'm gonna ask that.
Do you know anything about
again.
that, Jessica?
No, I do have a question though. Is fundraising out of the question? Like having a small
Yeah, I
fundraiser.
mean, you can't really fundraise
No,
for
we
the
can't.
town.
Right.
That's like, it's,
That's the
Yeah.
conflict of interest. We
I
can't.
wasn't sure how it works, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
but what I'm thinking is, I'm wondering if you could go to someone, to Mary's point, go to someone like the Rotary Club and say, the Commission on Disability has a project. And, the town is contributing X amount of money to it. we'd like to be able to print additional copies. Would the Rotary Club, give a donation to the town in order to,
Okay, but then it
Yes.
won't go in this
So
book
can I just,
under
like,
them.
if you watch
like it
the
did.
select board packet, the town receives.
that's what I was talking
Right.
about, yeah, but it's not
See
solicited.
this?
Those are
yeah.
unsolicited
You can't do that
donations,
if anybody donates,
You know what I
because I
mean?
wanted to put
Yeah.
people's names down.
so,
Yeah.
Have a page for advertisement?
We can't do that. See this right here? We can't put that in there, thanking that anybody.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying. So they would have to do it like, just as a good.
let me,
kindness.
let me
it,
look
that would
into
not-
this further, let's table this for
Okay.
now.
Sorry, I
Let
brought
me-
it up.
That's okay. I
No,
just-
because it's very confusing. I was confused last time and I'm confused this time. But so when do we have to have this in?
Well, if we're talking about for not next school year, but the year after that, we've got plenty of time.
Yeah, but wait a
year.
minute. I'm gonna get the money, we'll say in 2026, then the school is out. The Howard School.
So
is
our
out. The
school,
recrea-
so right now, what we're budgeting for in this current budget cycle is from July of 2025.
Right,
To June of 2026.
And that's called fiscal year 2026.
26,
Correct.
right.
Correct.
So a year from now, we would be budgeting for July of 26 to June of 27.
I know
That's
that.
Called fiscal year 2027.
That's
but
right.
November is usually when they will give this out to the students.
Which November, Gil?
2026.
Right, so it would be a
Two
year
years.
from now is
But-
when we would
but-
have to
but
be
the school-
budgeting for
But,
it.
but the regional school is not back in class until August. And I can't tell Peter when we can print, he has to tell me. So I want to make sure that we get the books in
Mhm.
time.
Mhm. Okay. All right,
mean-
let me find out about, well, let's do this. Why does the donation question matter? Why can't we vote to request money from the town right now? And if you can do donations, then it would be additional copies that you could be printed, right?
That's fine.
So do you want to entertain a motion to make a request?
Somebody entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we entertain a request to
For how much?
collect donations for the book.
No, 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 no. That's not what the motion is.
Oh, whoops.
We're gonna
The
put that.
motion is, the motion is,
The motion,
we're talking about this budget request right here. This is what we want to get approved. We're requesting money from the town. This is $1,100, but Mary mentioned 1,500.
I will make a motion that we submit the request to the town for $1,500 to print the an unexpected friendship.
Okay.
I second that.
My third,
Now we need to vote. We need to call vote.
Oh, yeah, okay.
yay.
I'm
it's up to
sorry.
you to call our names.
Roll call is this. Jean Boyle,
Yes.
Drew, Cra-
Yes.
Mary Billbon,
Yes.
Yes.
John Whitaker, Mitchell, yes. Jessica Simmons?
Yes.
Yeah, Charette, yes.
Whew. Good job.
Motion passed. Okay. There was no
Terrific.
discussion.
We'll have
We had a discussion before.
18 minutes to go.
Okay.
Guys, I'm gonna excuse myself for just a second. I need to use the restroom.
You can.
Need a pass.
Okay, we're moving along. So we're all done there? Okay.
What's the most important thing left, do you think, on
Um,
the agenda, in case you want to prioritize?
this is, when do we have to have the milestone in? Not till when, October? Yeah, because wait a minute, we just did September, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. They're in September, and October right now. So we have one more month.
So next month.
Okay, so we'll put this on September. Okay, thank you. And the last one is, we talked about this is grant procedures and training. What does the membership think about having a seminar on grant procedures and training? And would
I think
Mary
it's
and John
fantastic.
want to be the presenters?
Do
You know,
you,
just to,
do
like-
you have the expertise to promote training?
Not a training, but just like an overview, we should say.
Yeah, but every grant is different.
Well, our last meeting, unfortunately, she's not here right now, but Jessica brought a friend who was a graduate student who researches grants. Who I thought would be a fantastic candidate to assist us with this project of obtaining grants for the town.
Well,
I spoke with her at the
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 court event.
rehab thing that Spalding put together, and she's pretty good. She's pretty intelligent, and she'd be very helpful in obtaining grants for the
See,
town.
in my thought process is I'd like to know what the heck grants mean, because we have this idea about grants and all of a sudden we get money, but it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
You have to go through a lot, that's what we want to know. So if we could just have like
Like
a,
grants 101 kind of a thing.
yeah, you know, just an overview, because we think, oh, we're gonna get grants, we get this money. It doesn't work that way. We have to go through a lot
A lot
of
of
stuff.
paperwork, a lot of red.
Mary and Sarah probably know grants 101 already from
If Jessica was still here,
professional lives, right?
Like
it would be
I
nice.
written on behalf of a nonprofit or a school district.
Mhm.
When you write on behalf of a municipality, it's an entire different.
But I'm not.
So you're
the
not-
person
You don't know
to- I
one-on-one
haven't
in that,
written
in this
grants.
context.
No, I mean, I've wrote federal grants and received over $1
But,
million.
but there's a lot
but
more, but, right, there's a
It's
lot
the
more.
accountability and the
Exactly.
reporting. I mean, when you're, federal money is much different than getting a local grant.
That's
Why don't I ask Karen? I mean, see who she thinks would be.
So what, are we writing grants though now? That's what I'm like, I want our time.
How are we
be
gonna
good.
get money?
I can't imagine. I would think it would take a person with experience.
Yeah, but is that our role or is that for us this, maybe if we find a grant, we could share that with the town? And I mean, I know you guys don't have a grant writer, but typically somebody on the staff does write a grant, like.
Someone who
they need- I mean,
really knows.
Right.
I mean, I don't know anything about it.
Jessica, we were just talking about the young lady that was here at our last meeting who wrote, was a graduate who did research and grants. Do you remember who her name was?
She was with you.
I think she works with you,
Josie,
Josie, yeah. She does,
she-
grant-
tall with glasses.
correct.
Josie actually resigned 2 days ago.
Oh.
I know.
What's her phone number?
Where'd she live?
I think she lives off
no,
Cape.
And born,
No,
Yeah.
she lives in, well, she was living in Plymouth. She very suddenly had to move 2 hours away. So
Oh, that's too
Yeah.
bad.
I really
Okay.
liked her.
You know, let me just tell you about what I learned about grants was that you had to have an ad hoc committee, then you have to hire an outside vendor to look at the plans. That's the way, well, that's what we did to get, to get the grants for the recreation, to get things accessible and stuff like that in the future. I'm not sure if that's the same kind of thing that we do, so that's.
I
why-
think it depends
It's a
on the
planning
grant.
Okay, so
Yeah,
therefore, that's
a-
what, I
So
would
it's
like
at
to
the
learn about
planning
grants. So
committee.
where do you go to learn about grants?
I
I
think
mean,
we
you
could.
can Take one at the college. I mean, they do
I
grant
just
ready
wanna know
courses.
I
all
mean,
the
I don't.
I don't want to learn about
I
grants.
just wanna know- Well, no, I mean, is it?
I really do.
is it-
Yeah, I do.
I don't
Get
know.
you
I have a
absolutely right.
thought.
What do you have? What's your thought?
My CEO writes grants all the time. They're probably going to be different than the grant that we're possibly going to need or thinking of. But I can certainly pick her brain and see if she's got some resources for where we can get some good information.
Yeah, and
We
I'd
have a
like to,
dinner date with her
I'd
tomorrow,
like to
so-
talk to people here that have written grants for the town.
Oh, okay.
You know.
But I really
too.
want to go back to, is that our role to be researching grants,
I
writing?
think
grants?
Mary's asking an important question.
Because
I don't
there's
have a clear
time.
idea of
I don't-
why the Commission on Disability would get a grant. What would we get a grant?
One of the things that I had brought up at our
I have
last
no.
meeting,
That's-
Right, so I don't know why this is all.
it was for funds to gather as a commission, so that when we ran into situations where a door needed to be modified, that they didn't have the budget to do it, we had the funds that we could assist or allocate towards.
But I don't think we
I
have
don't
the
know if that's
authority to write the
doable.
grant. like only the town, like the town administrator would have to approve the grant, who's gonna manage the grant, who's gonna execute the grant, who's gonna do the reporting of the grant. We can't do any of that as a volunteer commission.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So
That's
that's where it
exempt.
becomes.
It
a
gets it to
capacity.
be like a resource issue real quick with managing that.
So,
stuff,
but
too.
when Maud is asking for, okay, this is the whole, this is what brought up the grants. Oh, it's
Yeah.
Maud. That was it, right?
Yeah,
How do other commissions are getting grants?
I don't know.
it's not the
Hy-
commission.
Hyannis
it's
got
the
one.
town.
Barnstable got 250,000
See,
But
that's
it-
Town of Barnstable.
from Maud.
The
From what?
town wrote the grant.
State gave it.
Someone in the town, right? It wasn't the Commission on Disability.
and they have a grant.
Oh, it went to the
grant.
commit, well, it would go to the town.
No, I'm saying who wrote the grant? Who?
Oh, I have no idea.
So I'm guessing it wasn't a volunteer on the Commission on Disability.
No, I would think not.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
they
thinking
didn't
it's
write it,
someone
but it was-
from the town.
Okay, then you know what I'm thinking? Because it's Maud, it was done by,
The state.
not the writing of the grant, but it was instituted by initiated by the Commission on Disability. I guess it
So
wasn't.
they
that.
found the.
I mean, I
resource.
don't know. I
It'd
don't
be
know.
through
I mean,
ADA
why
and the
would, then
state.
why would Maud come and say, the Commission Disability, you can write a grant for this and you can get access, you can get money to do this and that.
What are you saying? What do you mean? They apparently had someone write it for them.
No, I'm asking, they're telling us that we shouldn't be doing grants.
Oh.
We
No,
shouldn't
I'm
be asking.
asking.
I
mean,
can't
I don't
follow
think
what
we
you
have
guys
to-
are
Wait a minute.
Can we, can,
I really
again,
can't
can
follow
we-
this.
can we
Right, but-
to put that off and ask more questions. I'll ask some more.
Ask more, I mean,
Cause
know
I
what-
can't, none of us have the answer and we're just spinning in.
Yeah,
circles
we'll
right now.
discuss it
I
later.
think you.
let's do the minutes because we,
Sarah, weren't you gonna request a grant early in spring that you missed?
I missed it, yeah,
See,
yeah.
those are the funds that I was talking about.
yeah.
So it's identifying the resources.
Right.
I don't know.
So maybe that's where Jessica's staff or supervisor, if that's who it was, Jessica. Like, she could help us to say, we can show you where to identify funding sources.
No,
And
I
then-
just meant to pick her brain for resources and some information. I know that that's something
Yeah.
that she's familiar with,
That's
and
awesome.
I'm more or less so.
Okay,
Perfect. Thank you.
Can
Yeah.
we just,
Yep,
so
gonna do-
September meeting is gonna be on the third Thursday, the 19th, correct?
Can't say typically
Maybe.
we meet on the.
I know, well, that's
Thursday.
why.
September
I
19th.
brought it up.
Wow.
But
I'm
can't,
not- I'm
Mary
on
can't be here. I can't be here. Okay, let's back up. I can't be here on the 12th. Cause I have a conference, the 12th and 13th.
Okay, so
Of
what's the
September.
following besides the 19th? What's the next one?
26th,
All right, so
does
let's,
that work?
the
Mary?
26th, okay? 26th of September? Jessica, does that look good to you? Oh, she's checked out.
Okay, 26.
Yeah, I can make that work.
Okay, John? Yeah,
Advanced cam training on the 12th. I
That's
can
the
make it on the 26th. Yep.
Good, okay, good. Drew, you are going to be the clerk,
Wow.
so we'll put
You
down Drew.
excited? I was thrilled about today.
So Drew's our
You've got
clerk.
The right concept for sure.
Yeah, well, you have that too. I think you've read yours, yeah. Yeah.
I've got the right concept.
Yeah, right. Okay, so Drew, that's perfect. We're gonna do 2 seconds with board invitation. John, what'd you find out?
2 seconds.
Yeah.
This is the advanced adaptive sport equipment stuff to me.
Yep,
That was a seminar that Cord and Spalding put together in July, it's 26 from 10 to 12. When I went, I found out a lot of tremendous stuff for handicapped people. One, a transfer disc, electric
yeah.
bikes, tricycles. It was really cool. Very, very informative. Spalding, if you needed a contact for that, was Elizabeth Dolan. And she's in Sandwich. And main office number, if you need, is 877-976-7272.
I think we should put that on the webpage, under resources. if somebody's interested in, any of that
Adaptive.
kind of equipment.
Adaptive sports equipment, yeah,
What do you think?
absolutely. It was awesome.
So why don't we do that? That'll be simple.
I
Okay,
never knew this stuff was available. It was great. I was so glad I went.
good. So that's encouraging. So that's good. All right, so now we're going to move on to the February. We have 2 minutes. We have two different meeting minutes we have to,
I see that, February and July.
February and July. So
You sent us the
yes,
draft minutes. And you want to ask us if we're okay? with
I
those
so
minutes?
move to accept, well, wait a minute. Yeah, somebody make a,
Why don't you ask if any of us have a? wanna
anybody
change
having a
anything?
question or a change? on the
I'm okay with the minutes as written.
name too.
How
Second,
about you guys?
So you
Terrific.
could potentially someone could make a motion to accept both sets of minutes.
Yeah. If we're all agreed that both sets of minutes are okay, that's the July and February and July minutes. Then I move that we accept both sets of minutes as written. Does anybody want
I
to?
second, I third.
Any discussion? No discussion. Okay, time to take a vote. Dean Boyle?
Yes.
Yes, seven. Mary Gilmore? Yes. Hugh Kraus?
Yes.
John Mitchell?
Yes,
Jessica Simmons?
Yes.
Yo Charette, yes. Eyes have it. Motion passed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming and for your participation and motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn the meeting.
I
Second.
second.
Okay, Jessica second.
All in favor?
Motion, all,
Aye,
Aye.
aye.
aye,
aye.
aye.
Supposed to do a roll
Roll
call.
Roll call. Jean Boyle,
Yes.
Mary Vilbon,
Yes.
Drew Kraus.
Yes.
John Mitchell,
Yes.
Jessica Simmons.
Yes.
And Deb Charette, yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting
Thank you,
adjourned. Thank
everybody.
you.
So,
So